but my body felt glued to the chair. I need time, I said finally, my voice barely above a whisper. Richard gave me that smile again, but it didn't reach his eyes. Of course, take the day, but by tomorrow morning, we'll need that signature. I left the office in a daze, clutching the folder like it was radioactive. My coworkers glanced at me as I walked back to my desk, but I couldn't read their expressions. Did they know? Were they all in on this? The rest of the day passed in a blur. My phone buzzed with texts from my roommate, from my sister, but I couldn't focus. All I could see was that paper. My name, $10,000. That night, I couldn't sleep. I sat in my crappy apartment, staring at the document under the dim glow of a lamp. My cat jumped onto the table, knocking over an empty beer can, but I barely noticed. $10,000. I'd never even seen that much money at once. How could I be responsible for something I didn't touch? I thought about going to the police, about telling them everything, but what would I even say? Hey, my bosses want me to take the fall for missing money. Would they believe me? Or would they just see a signed confession and close the case? By 3 in the morning, I still hadn't decided. But I knew one thing: tomorrow, I'd have to walk back into that office and face Richard again. And the next morning, when I finally made my choice, I realized it wasn't just my job on the line, it was my entire future. I didn't sleep. I mean, technically I closed my eyes for maybe an hour, but my brain kept looping the same scene: Richard pushing the paper toward me, that little smile that never reached his eyes, Thomas staring like a courthouse statue. When the sun finally leaked through my blinds, it felt like a verdict. I showered, dressed, and stared at the document on the table. $10,000. 10,000 I had never touched, never even seen. I shoved the paper into my backpack and headed out. The air in Chicago had that late fall bite, the kind that wakes you up whether you want it or not. I grabbed a coffee from a corner shop, didn't taste it. On the train, I texted my sister. Jess, hypothetical question: what would you do if your boss asked you to sign something saying you lost a bunch of money you never saw? She called me immediately. Daniel, that's not hypothetical. I know. Do not sign it, she said, each word like a small slap. Call a lawyer. Call the state labor board. Call me every hour if you have to. I talked to nobody official, I said. I don't even know how to explain it without sounding guilty. Explain it honestly, she said. You didn't take anything. Honesty doesn't always win, I muttered. After we hung up, I messaged Miguel, an ex-coworker who'd bailed from our company last year. Weird question: did management ever ask you to sign something sketchy? He replied a minute later: not me, but I heard rumors. Watch your back. By the time I walked into the lobby,